Supporting this channel is simple. Whenever you shop online, just access the affiliate links in the description. Your support is essential for the growth of this project.
You cannot overcome something which does not exist. Right now, are you in fear? Right now. That I may say something damaging. Is it the fear? Every moment of your life you're in fear? No. So, when you're not in fear, just stay like that. Because to create fear, you have to use excessive imagination. To not be in fear, you don't have to do anything. Fear is happening because of excessive imagination, things that have not happened, you're creating. What may happen in your mind happens in 1,000 different formats, and most probably it never happens. The things that you feared, take 100 things that you have feared, probably 99 of them never happened, isn't it? Yes. So your fear is always about that which does not exist. You cannot fight or you cannot overcome that which does not exist. We can overcome something that exists. You cannot overcome that which does not exist. You just have to give up that effort. Enjoy the fear. After all, it's your making. You like horror movies. Yes, you're saying no, but you're producing them. It's just they're not making money, that's all. Fear means you're producing horror movies in your mind. Nobody else is willing to watch. That's bad for the producer. But you're producing them. So, you produce something else. Produce a comedy, a love story, suspense, thriller. Try and see, today. Just sit down, produce a love story, a suspense thriller, a comedy. 5 minutes movies you make in your mind, really. Start using your mind differently. It's just gotten into your pattern. Just gotten into your pattern of just creating horror movies all the time. You have watched enough horror movies, they're boring. Create something else. Even it's not that if you produce these movies, those things will happen in your life. Still they may not happen, at least you enjoy the movie. In reality it may not happen, so what? At least you enjoy what's happening in your mind, if you cannot enjoy what's happening in the world, isn't it? That much privilege every human being deserves, isn't it so? Even if the world is not kind to him, at least his own mind should be kind to him, should produce some nice movies.
The word engineering essentially means to make something happen, something that we want, we will make it happen in the most efficient possible way. That's engineering. If you're doing it in horribly inefficient ways, that cannot be called engineering, isn't it? We will say this is a fine piece of engineering when something that we want is happening with least amount of friction and with least amount of consumption. So if you have a body that if you use it for 12 hours, it sleeps for another 12 hours, it needs 12 hours of maintenance. Sleep is maintenance time, you know. If you had a car that you use it for 15 days it's in the garage, it's better to take the public transport. Now you have a body which has to sleep 10 to 12 hours a day. Now this is not an efficient system, it's not being managed properly. Probably the fuel is not good, maybe your engine is leaking. So is this all physical? No. Maybe medically you have been certified fit, but still, if you need to sleep 8 to 10 hours, which unfortunately people are saying, qualified people are saying is standard that every human being must sleep 8 to 10 hours. That's a horribly inefficient perception of what a human machine is, isn't it? This is the most sophisticated machinery on the planet, this human mechanism. If this mechanism is made such a way that half the time it's in maintenance, you cannot call it the most sophisticated. It's very simple. I will give you simply 3 things. Just do these 3 things, you will see your sleep quota will come down dramatically. Very simple things. Extremely simple things that you just do for 10-15 minutes a day, you will see your sleep quota will come down dramatically. I'll give you something else, another 3 things to do, very simple things. You do this, your food quota can be brought down to at least 30 to 40% of what you're eating, still maintain your weight, maintain much more activity than you're maintaining right now, and with much less sleep. So, you engineer something because you want to run it more efficiently. Running something inefficiently is not engineering. So, I'm a mother, I have a job, and I have things to do. Whatever you are, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are, it's important. Whatever the nature of your activity, you're doing something because you think it's important for you. If you're doing something that's important for you, if you think your work is important, the first and foremost thing that you should do is you should work upon yourself. Inner engineering is a systematic way of working upon yourself, not just in the body, not just in the mind, not just in the emotional level, but all aspects, your body, mind, emotion and energy, if all these things are aligned and organized properly, this machine will work so much more efficiently. So the amount of sleep that you need, the amount of food that you need, the volume of rest that the body demands can be brought down considerably. At the same time, the volume of activity can be greatly enhanced and made more efficient and more effective. Especially if you're a mother, your responsibility is not just for making your life work well. Now you've taken the responsibility of making 1 or 2 more lives, their lives to work well. When you dare to take such a responsibility, I think you must do inner engineering. There is no choice for you. If you are not a mother, you could choose maybe. But if you are a mother, you have no choice, you must.
Sadhguruji, then what is it? Okay, so for all of us, how do we live our days? What is the best way to just go about it? Give us in clear, simple sentences, do this and you will be at least on the way to being blissful or happy or aware or living in a nice conscious way.
If you just observe, if everybody makes a little effort, everybody take a little time for this piece of life, okay? Not for your family, not for your career, not for something else. Just for this piece of life, give it little time because this is the most important piece of life in your life, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Even if you're in love with somebody, still this is the most important piece of life, isn't it? So pay some attention to this. How does it happen? Why have you taken it for granted? Believe me, you're not going to be here forever. I'll bless you with a long life, but you're going to fall dead one day. Yes or no?
Yes.
So, do not take this for granted. If you wake up in the morning, tomorrow if you wake up in the morning, no, this is not my wish, but I want you to know, of all the people who go to bed tonight, over 1 million people will not wake up tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, if you and me wake up tomorrow morning, is it not a fantastic thing? 1 million people did not wake up. You woke up. Is it not a great thing? Just look at the ceiling and smile. You are still awake, you're still there. And for many, many millions of people, somebody who's dear to them did not wake up. So just check those 5, 6 people around you. They all woke up, wow, it's a fantastic day. You woke up and everybody who matters to you around you woke up. Is it not fantastic day?
Yes.
You don't think so?
Yes. Yes.
You don't seem to think so.
Yes.
Because the problem is just this, you are living with an idea that you're immortal. When I say you're immortal, you're not actually thinking you're immortal, but you're not conscious of your mortality. If you're not conscious of your mortality, somewhere you think you're immortal, isn't it? How many moments in a day are you conscious that you're mortal? If you were conscious, would you have time to crib? Would you have time to fight with somebody? Would you have time to do some rubbish with your life? If you knew, if you are conscious that you are mortal, you would do nothing other than what is absolutely needed for you and everybody around you. This one thing if you do, if you just remind yourself, you don't think this is a negative thing. Death is not a negative thing, it's the only thing which has added value to your life. If you're here forever, you would be unbearable.
Yes, yes.
Isn't it? Aren't we glad everybody dies one day? If you just become conscious of this one thing, that always you're conscious that I'm mortal, you don't have to think, I will die today, we don't intend, we want to live as far as possible. Just you know, one day I will die. If you're just conscious of this one thing, you will naturally become spiritual. Every day, every moment if you remind yourself, this is a brief life, I'm mortal, one day I will end. Just do this for 2 days and see, you will become something truly fantastic within yourself, just this is all.
That is simply beautiful.
That's all that's needed. If you want to know the value of life, just know that it's a brief happening.
You once mentioned that a large population in the world is not healthy, which they could be, simply because we have not understood some simple things. And these simple things can be very easily taught and decimated in the world and shared with rest of the people. Can you throw some more light on what these simple things are which can make us healthier?
Healthy? Oh. There was a young physician once. He went to his senior colleague and said he had some problem with a certain diagnosis of a patient. Then the senior colleague said, "Oh, nerves and vomiting, is it? Yes, but I don't find any medical reason for him to be having nerves and vomiting." So the senior colleague suggested, you ask him if he is playing golf. If he is playing, you tell him to stop. If he says, "I'm not playing," ask him to play. He'll become okay. Health is like that. Really. Some people are overworked and they have ill health. Most people are underworked and they have ill health today. If you lived here on this planet 200 years ago, physically, you would be doing at least 20 times more activity than what you're doing right now, physically. Definitely, isn't it? You would have walked to this place, you would have done everything with your hands. You would be doing minimum 20 times more activity. I think I'm wrong, 100 times probably. Some of you 250 times. So if you were doing that much activity, then I would have told you, take a break, take some rest. Now, the body has not been used. Only by using this body you can keep it well. When you say health, you're talking about physical health. You must use this body. The more you use it, the better it gets. One of the simplest things about health is just to use the body. If you sufficiently use the body has everything to create health for itself. Does it mean to say, that's the only thing, nothing else will happen to me, I'll be perfect? I would say, if we physically used our body as much as we should, I would say 80% of the ailments on this planet would just disappear. 80%. The remaining 20%, in that, another 10% is because of the type of foods that people are eating. They change the food habit, another 10% would disappear, that means only 10% ailment would remain. That has happened because of variety of reasons. One is karmic, another could be atmospheric, and there are other aspects that could have happened in the system which can be looked at. Out of all the sick people, if 90% of them become healthy just by using the body and eating the right food, 10% could be easily handled. But now the volume of ailment is so big because we don't eat properly or we eat very properly and we don't use the body properly. So, apart from this, there are other aspects to life. To put it very simply, as you exercise your body, if you just do this 1,000 times a day, just do like this 1,000 times a day, and after 1 month, just see how well your hand will work. Nothing else. Just sit here and just do this 1,000 times a day. After 30 days, you'll find your hand works wonderfully well. If you do that with your brains, it will work wonderfully well in a month's time. If you do this with your heart, it'll work wonderfully well. If you do that with your life energies, it will work wonderfully well. When all these things work well, that's health. Health is not something that you invent. Health is not your idea. Health is life happening well. The life process is happening well, that's health. It's not your idea or my idea. We are acting as if health is our idea, as if we created health. We didn't create health. If at all if we have created health, if at all we have created anything, we have created ill health. We have not created health. Health is life's way. If you allow life to function fully, it is healthy. So, you just have to use your body, use your head, and use your energies. If these three things are well exercised and balanced, you will be healthy. So, because right now we are enjoying the gadgets, but if you build activity into your life, physical, mental and energy, all these things if you build in, health will come. Your body is working well, your mind is working well, and your energy is supporting the two, making sure nothing goes wrong, that's health. Life is happening in full flow, that's health. Health is not an idea, it is not a medical idea. The medical fraternity and the medical knowledge has become more and more essential because we have built in very unhealthy lifestyles. Never before in the world, medicine had the kind of importance as it is having today. Simply because we are becoming more and more sedentary, so we are becoming more and more unhealthy. We are living longer, maybe, that's because of excessive attention and, you can live on tubes for 20 years. Otherwise, nature has its own way of, natural selection. Do you know what that means? Yes, the life that is fit, which will be selected to live, that is not fit, which goes on. But today we've made life in a different way. Not that we can go back to those old ways anymore, we cannot. But that doesn't mean we have to become 60 when we're 20. A lot of 20-year-olds today cannot perform as much activity as 60-year-olds used to do 100 years ago. It's a fact, isn't it so? 100 years ago, what a 60-year-old person was doing, physical activity, that much activity a 20-year-old cannot do it today. That means we're just weakening humanity. A degenerate humanity we will become over a period of time. So, we must use it.
Continue your quest for wisdom and personal growth. Explore more videos on our channel and share your journey with us.